35th District Representative Dan Griffey. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning.
Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday to you as well.
It's been a busy week in both the House and the Senate. Was talking to Drew earlier and then Tim yesterday, the representatives here in the Senate and the other 35th District Representative. You guys have had just tons of votes, and obviously things happen. Some votes get taken, some votes don't get taken. But where are we at with, let's talk about your statute of limitations bill.
Yeah, well, I was really happy it made it out 90-8. It's over in the Senate. I actually have a meeting this morning at 10:10 with the chairman of that committee and respectfully requesting a hearing in the Senate. I think we're going to move it this year. I'm really excited for the survivors that they could maybe someday have their day in court.
This is seems like a really good bipartisan effort to get this thing out there. You've been in front of a lot of the other TV media, and what's the response?
This is kind of big. Usually, the Como and Cairo and everybody doesn't cover little old 35th District, but we've had a lot of coverage. Also on the marijuana lockbox bill, they've been covering that as well. And then both of them, I think, are very good bills. Both of them are brought to me by constituents. I think some of the best legislation that we pass comes from constituents saying, "Yeah, this is a problem, and let's do something about it." And I continue to ask people when they know there's something wrong in Washington state law, get a hold of me, and we'll see if we can fix it together.
What else has this week revealed to you, gotten you ready for the next couple of weeks as we are halfway through, or no, a little bit more than halfway through now, I suppose?
Yeah, so some of the other things we're working on is I think we have now kind of a third idea set on McCleary Fix.
Okay.
So the three idea sets now can kind of be merged, and we can go into conference and really negotiate that out. I think we're going to do it. We passed... we talked about before, I voted for the levy cliff bill before because I knew I was going to take the vote that I took yesterday. So I'm consistent. I knew we were going to fund it. And even with a McCleary Fix, it's going to take a little bit of time before we get the new policies and new funding methodologies out there. So it's really good to have some stability with our schools. They can write their budgets. They don't have to send out pink slips and that sort of thing. So I think it's a good step that we did it. But also, there's some on our side that was concerned that takes the pressure off the negotiations. So having that pressure there means that you're really seriously going to negotiate. I still, in my heart of hearts, think that we're going to get there without needing that pressure. But, if we don't, the schools are whole, and that matters to me.
Yeah, because if I was reading this right, even as you said, the McCleary decision goes into effect, it still may take a little bit of time, and these school districts need to know that they've got some sort of a funding.
Oh, absolutely. They got contract negotiations that they're all entered into, and they've got to be able to make good on them. And then the real deal is they shouldn't have to lay off great staff or send threatening notices to the staff that they might be laid off. They should have that stability and predictability in their funding, and so I think it does both of those things. And we have the McCleary Fix. It'll take it. It'll include all that. But we needed to do that yesterday.
What else has you seen that will be coming over from the Senate side that kind of piques your interest? Some interesting bills from either side of the aisle that you go, I never thought about that, or this is definitely something that I can get.
Well, I'm very interested in two economic development bills because I wrote them and couldn't get a hearing.
That's true.
So they came out pretty good out of the Senate. So I'm really lobbying hard to get at least my language heard over in the House. And I don't care who gets credit for it. I just care that we have the flexibility in our community to have good economic development and land development language. So my language, somebody else's name doesn't bother me. I'm just happy that it's coming over. One of them, Rural Economic Redevelopment Act, is what I named it, and the other one would be an environmental land swap. And in that, say the city wanted to develop another area, they could protect, say, Neelan Park, and they could draw a circle around that in all of our park areas, take that out of the urban growth area because that's really never going to be a growth area. It'll be a protected area forever. And then they might be able to just kind of draw a circle around another area exact land mass. We're just trying to come up with compromises with the strong environmental community and balance that with the fact that we have to grow a little bit. And if we don't grow just a little bit, then we just start falling backwards. And I think right now we got kind of this renaissance going on in Mason County. Let's just see if we can keep it going.
So if a bill, I know, it starts in the House and it may or may not get a committee vote and then move on to the floor, if it's already gone through the Senate side and has the votes and has moved over, is there a better likelihood that it is going to be up for discussion in the House, or is it still just kind of based on what the Speaker wants to do?
Well, yes. So yes and no. So yes, it is up to what the Speaker wants to do, but the Speaker also needs to get his policy out of the Senate. And since we have a divided House, there's some give and take on that. And so what we've seen is a willingness to move on some of these rural economic development issues. So there's a good chance. Now there's a couple companion bills that pass both houses. So then you kind of get to arm wrestle with the Senate. Tim Sheldon and I both passed the bills of similar topics. So now we get to arm wrestle who gets to get it. But for me, it doesn't matter. It's just the good policy for Mason County, and it's just good that we have so much support that we could pass the same bill through this, both houses.
I was talking with Representative McEwen either this week or last week. He was kind of talking that you and guys may be having some opportunities for the constituents to meet up with you, some possible town halls in the future. Is that maybe going forward up in the north end, middle, Shelton?
Yeah, so Drew and I both decided, because we haven't been up, we did our town hall here in Shelton last time, that we're going to go up to Seabeck area. So they get a little love and that they really get to know us and we get to really know their issues. They're really concerned in the Seabeck area that their port district isn't doing enough for them. They have a marina that's almost defunct. They don't have fiber connectivity. They want to know about how we can work on that. So I've invited some of the port commissioners up. The port commissioners have set aside about $2 million for that area. Okay. And so they're kind of looking at get the consensus. Do you want us to work on the boat ramp, or would you like us to help you bring fiber out? Where do you want us to go with this? So I'm glad I was able to kind of bridge that gap. Take some group of people that feel like they really are being left out of the process, and involve the local port commissioners so that they feel like they have a connection to them as well.
So good. All right. Some opportunities for constituents to connect. Always nice talking with you, Dan. Thank you so much for putting yourself out there doing the people's work.